All right, hi, I'm Danny Buston Kelly, head volleyball coach at the University of Louisville. This seminar is about training your setter. And, you know, here at Louisville, I feel like we've done a really great job of developing our setters. But most importantly, I think we let each setter be their own person. And I'm a firm believer that there's not one way to do it right. And there's many ways. And every setter, possesses some different qualities that you want them to be the best they can be, help them develop their strengths and make their weaknesses better. So I'm going to start by showing you some of the training we do, some of the warm-ups. We base a lot of it on feet first, and using our whole body to set the ball, not just using our wrists. And at the higher level you get, you have to be able to put the ball in the money no matter where the pass is or the dig is. So a lot of our drills are based on footwork first. After I show you some drills, I'm going to take you through a quick video session with one of our setters, Tori Dilfer. I also think it's really important to have great communication with your setters, and to make sure that you develop trust and you're on the same page when it comes to decision making. And I don't want to be calling plays for my setter every single time. I want her to have an understanding of our team, the moment, why she's making decisions, which is why we watch almost every single 6-on-6 set she makes in practice, as well as, every set that she makes in a match. I'll also just add, in the high school or college level, I do think it's also really important to keep your backup setter very involved. And so we also watch film we have 3 setters this year, and we watch film every week with each setter, and watch their sets in practice. And I want to make sure they also understand the needs of our team and game flow. And so if something does happen to a starting setter, our team doesn't miss a beat. All right, so I'm going to start with some warm-up drills. Okay, this first drill here is one that your setters can do on their own. And both of our setters really struggle locating the back sets, which is why we often start with back setting. So here I'm just having them set to themselves, but I'm asking them to set forward a little bit so they can work on getting their feet there. Right now, I want them to be on the ground. I do not want them jump setting, because I really want them to have to use their arms and their legs to get the ball out to the pin with tempo. Again, our setters would do this almost daily in the spring and the summer, even when coaches aren't in the gym. So, just really nice and controlled way to start their warm-up. And you'll see we do progress it here. So that was forward. Now we're going off the net. Again, I really want them to finish that set and turn to their right. So off the net, the further you go off, the more important that is setting over your right shoulder. So again, a really nice way to warm up. I'm going to speed along here. So now, we got a lot of reps there setting behind. So again, we're just going to get warmed up setting forward. So another thing they're really focusing on right now is transferring that weight. So they want to go left, right every single time they're setting the ball, finishing that set. Okay, now if a coach is in the gym and you are training, or, another setter, they can go through this. So it's the same idea with the warm-up. We're adding the jump set, and then I'm going to toss the ball in, and they're going to regular set that ball. So the reason why I toss it in from the right or the right side of the court, is it really makes them focus on getting that ball on their right eye. It's an exaggerated move. So again, it's very tough to make that set. And I do think that if they can make this set, that they should be able to make any set. So you can see there, Jamie, she took that ball on her left eye, which is why it went into the net. So she's got to get even more focused on squaring up, and then more focused on finishing that set to her right shoulder to keep it going from off the net. or going into the net. You know, in our gym, we also train a lot of jump setting off one foot. But for these particular drills, I really like to train jump setting off 2 feet because I found that our setters tend to, when they jump off 1 foot, they jump through the ball and they don't necessarily use that momentum to take them up and use their body to create great tempo. So again, we like to start a lot with jump setting off 2 feet. So again, you can see the same thing we're doing off the net, which is even arguably maybe even a little bit tougher than the jack rule set. But they're doing a great job here of working really hard to get squared up and finishing that set. So you can see Tori almost has to make a 360, but she's square. She could set anywhere if she had to. Nice set there. You can see here we progress here. I always like starting with back setting. I mean, maybe that's not something I would do every year. It's just been, you know, a weakness of ours the past couple years. And so we've really focused on that, especially in simple warm-up drills where they're in control. You know, I want them to get as many reps as possible setting back. So you can see here we've done quite a bit of setting and jump setting off 2 feet. So now we're adding in the one-footed jump set. Oh, good. So that's one of my favorite warm-up drills. I'm excited to show you a few more. This one here is, we call this the B Jet series. So basically, as a coach, I'm trying to go pretty fast with my tosses. And you'll see I'm not having my setters go back to base every time because I think that, you know, I don't want them to get gassed. So it's like a 6-ball series. So it's a perfect toss on the net. You set the B, which is a 31. Perfect pass, set the jet. So I'm doing that every single time, and I want them to feel like no matter where they're at, you know, they have to be able to be in a position to set the 31. And so this is really just emphasizing that body position, making sure we're squared up, making sure, you know, we're consistent with our finish, making sure on the back sets, you know, we're squared up to the 31, but we're finishing to our right, over our right shoulder. Good. So you can see Tori there. She's using a variety of jump setting. You know, I did ask them to jump set every ball here, which is why we're just going 6 and out, 6 and rotate. So they'll jump off 2 feet some. They might go off 1 foot. The main thing is if they're going off 2 feet or 1 foot, they need to look the same and have the same body position and the same finish. Let's watch one more time here with Tori. All right, I'm going to continue to take you through some of our warm-up drills. Again, we do these almost every single day. Our setters will come even if it's 10 minutes early. And we do try to vary it, so we don't do the same warm-ups every single day. It'll also depend just on the strengths and weaknesses of each setter and, you know, what we've been focusing on that week. So here we have, you know, Jamie, one of our newer setters. So we can look at some of her technique. This is just using a basketball. I'm really working with her this spring on using more arms and more body and less wrists because she tends to, you know, her wrists will get what I would call like a little bit floppy. So she gets a little inconsistent with her, especially her tempo. So basketball for her is, you know, an excellent warm-up. I like setting to ourselves first, but Again, I like it also without the set to yourself. And so we go both ways. Behind, she really has to focus a lot more on that finish. So you see her turning over her right shoulder every time. All right. This next drill, another warm up, really, warms up their hands. They have to be really strong. Again, for Jamie, great warm up drill because her wrists do get floppy, so she has to have strong wrists. So I'm throwing it pretty hard right at her head. So that ball has to go in and out of her hands fairly quickly. And as I'm doing this, I will make, a U shape. Want to make sure we go from all parts of the court, from the toss. Again, as we get closer to the right side, even more focus on getting that ball on her right eye. Again, it's a bad sign if on this first ball she's moving a ton. So she still wants to set it, right on top of her head. Good. All right, this is what we call, long distance set. Again, she really has to use that weight transfer. If she doesn't have a great finish here, ball's not going to go to target. I'd be probably talking to her about using more arms, more body, using that energy, get that ball all the way to the pin. So good. Okay, we do the same thing front and back. Now, just because of this long distance, I like to toss from in front of her. Again, just a different focus. She does have to focus on getting the ball in her right eye. But again, she's really focusing on using those legs and that body. Even more arms. So that one you saw, she had hardly no arms. So I'm telling her, use more arms to get it back there. And then finish. Great job with her hands. You can see they're finishing nice and strong. It's good. Great job. That was our long distance series. Again, so here we're working on base release from serve receive patterns. I love setting to ourselves to make sure our feet are there. I want our setters to always be going up and down, using their body to set. I don't want them jumping through the ball. Usually that creates a really inconsistent location. So if we can get there and have all of our momentum be going up towards the ball, typically much better location, much better tempo. Probably giving her a little break. She's our only setter in this particular session. Again, we're just mixing up the patterns here. Here she's setting to herself off, making sure she's getting her feet there. You'll notice to start, we're not jump setting, because I really want her, again, to use her body and really focus on using her arms more. And again, this little newer technique for her, see if it helps her location. Just a little more arms, not as many wrists, not as much wrist. So we'll go through tons of different variations. All right, let's see what's next here. All right, so now we have, typically this is another setter. You can see she's in a boot. So these guys would be rotating each ball, digging and setting. Love, again, you'll see I'm a huge proponent of set to yourself. I think just really, most importantly, we want to get our feet to the ball, and whether we're jump setting or standing and setting, we do not want to be running through that ball, whether you're 1 foot or 2 foot. So we like to start a lot of drills, even if it's just 5 reps of set to ourselves. And you can also set to yourself, stand and set to yourself, jump set off 2 feet, set to yourself, jump set off one leg, which would be our right leg. So Jamie's doing a pretty nice job here. Again, giving her a break since there's not setter rotating. Good. So same drill, coming from a different part of the court. Now she's back setting. Let's see if she makes a correction here. That first one you saw her finish, straight up. Now I want her to finish a little bit more back. It's just a subtle difference, but makes a big difference in location. Good. Good. All right. All right, so this is the same type of drill. Really difficult ball here now, so she's digging, no set to yourself. She's got to get her feet to base, move from there, and then I'm going to throw a ball in from the right side, so she has to focus 100% on getting that ball on her right eye. Again, really difficult. If she doesn't, as you saw, she just set that ball over the net. So if she doesn't get all the way turned around in her body position in a great spot, she's not going to make a great set. So the ball here is really the teacher on body position. So you can see there she was not squared up. Ball went tight. Also made it really hard for her to push it all the way out. There. Great adjustment by her. Really got squared up there. So good. So we're working on that jump set. Great finish. So now we're doing this little bit different variation. So we're still digging. First ball now she's setting behind with a jump set. Second ball all the way around. She has to get on her right eye, be able to set the go with great tempo. Great one there. Great finish. It's all the way around. Good. Finishes with that left right. Again, really nice job at the finish of that drill. All right, now we're going to slow things down. That was a lot of footwork. Now, we also try to vary, especially in a setter individual. You don't want to do footwork, and wear them out. So we try to do different drills. So it's a little bit slower, but totally different concept. Gives her some rest time. She still can get work done. So you can see we have a manager here holding up different color cones. So instead of, I'm sure you've seen, where you hold up the rock, paper, scissors or a number. I personally love these cones because I really don't want my setters to be turning their head and taking their eye off the ball to see what the block is doing. I want them to, feel it. So hopefully these colors she can see, out of her peripheral vision and, make the right call. And she's just setting, every other ball forward, then back because we have the targets to do it today. But same thing. Works great just setting every ball go or every ball behind. But again, I want her to feel that. So she's got to let that ball get all the way to her right eye. She should be able to see that color, which, just focuses on, getting a feel for what's happening on the other side of the net. And again, as a tosser, you want to make sure you're constantly going all the way around the court, not just standing in one spot. If you are going to stand in one spot, I think, standing from the right side of the court is always best because it really emphasizes your right eye. It's the toughest set to make. So that it means, balls coming from the middle, and the left should be a little bit easier. All right.